Protest or a full-on political invasion? Because when you're burning U.S. flags and waving foreign ones on American soil, that's not resistance, it's rejection. And now Trump is sending in the troops. Let's turn this mess right side up. It all started on June 6th in LA's Fashion District in Compton and Paramount. The feds raided clothing warehouses, a Home Depot, and even some union halls. Over 100 arrests happened that day. The feds say 44 administrative arrests at the Fashion District alone, plus union leader David Huerta. He was detained for obstruction. Protesters clashed, throwing chunks of concrete, flashbangs, tear gas. Police declared an unlawful assembly by nightfall. By the next morning, over 1,000 protesters were chanting, blocking streets like the 101 freeway, smashing windows, and setting cars ablaze, including a Waymo self-driving vehicles. Looting, arson, federal buildings spray painted. More than 200 arrests have happened so far, with dozens in close. These aren't peaceful marches. They're pitched street fights. Now, the moment that the internet got set on fire, protesters weren't just waving signs. They were waving foreign national flags. Mexico,
Red,
Guatemala,
white, and green of the
El
Mexican
Salvador,
flag
Honduras.
has become the...
There were also reports of U.S. flags being burned. That's right, you heard it. Flags, United States flags being burned. The public reaction? Explosive. On social media, the reaction's been sort of the same. You're on U.S. soil demanding U.S. rights, but you can't fly the U.S. flag? Conservative pundits call it not a protest, but a provocation. Trump himself blasted it on social media and on Truth Social.
America
if you're burning American flags and waving foreign ones, you're not seeking asylum. You're staging an invasion. By June 8th, Trump federally deployed 2,000 National Guard and put 700 Marines from Camp Pendleton on standby. Without Governor Newsom's
a form
approval.
of rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States. Media,
this is a serious
that the Guard's
breach of
presence
state
will
sovereignty.
escalate tensions
It'll
and
only
erode
escalate
public
tensions.
trust.
He sued over it, calling it purposefully inflammatory and unlawful. Trump doubled down, saying Newsom is grossly incompetent, and even joked about arresting him if he were acting border czar Tom Homan. They're calling in the feds. He's calling for arrest. Legal experts are calling it a constitutional flashpoint. Federal authority clashing with state rights.
Department of Homeland Security
really
putting
about?
more than 500 so-called sanctuary
jurisdictions. It's about
jurisdictions.
Power, money, and demographic control. Sanctuary cities like LA rack in the federal dollars that are tied to the census counts, which include the undocumented immigrants. More residents means more funding, more grants, and more representation. And politically, some argue stacking populations brings a predictable voter base, one less reliant on Black Americans or any existing voting blocks. Take that and add efforts to allow voting without ID for non-citizens, and you've got a recipe for political manipulation. Meanwhile, the border is at a crisis point. People are crossing over without documentation. They're not just seeking asylum. They're flat out breaking the law. And that's a legal and a sovereign issue. But mainstream media plays whack, focusing on tear-gassing visuals over the true question. Should the U.S. stand for this during a raid? Because this isn't about whether or not we let people in. It's about how we do it and under what standards.
It seems that people are becoming...
Let me tell you something. I've had it. The Democrats have officially lost the plot. First, it was identity politics. Then came race baiting. And now it's immigration. And not the legal kind. Not the Ellis Island, papers in hand, proud to be an American kind. No, it's illegal, it's unchecked, and it's entitled immigration. And it's being weaponized. They don't want to win your vote anymore. Nah, they don't need that. They just want to replace it. Now they're importing a whole voting bloc from every open border they can find, feeding them, housing them in luxury hotels, giving them your benefits while telling you there's nothing left. Meanwhile, Americans, Black Americans especially, are being told to be patient and keep voting and just keep taking the crumbs. Excuse me? This is America, or it was supposed to be, not the United States of foreign entitlements, not the sanctuary for people who don't respect our laws or our language. You came here illegally and didn't even bother to learn English because somehow you're owed something? What other country lets that fly? Try sneaking into Mexico. Try sneaking over there and working under the table. Try living off of their system without documentation. You'd be locked up before you could blink. But here, you're rewarded. And who's paying for it? You, me, the taxpayers. And the lie that they're not taking jobs, honey, they're taking down jobs and driving down wages. Construction, landscaping, factory work, these were jobs that our people did. Now they're paying pennies on the dollar to someone who's not even supposed to be here in the first place. And the rich Democrats clapping for this, their kids don't go to public school. Their neighborhoods don't change. They don't live next to these people. They don't feel the pressure. We do. And let's talk to my people, Black people. Real quick, Black America, y'all are loyal to this party that said, oh, let's give them welfare and food stamps and they'll vote for us for the next 50 years. And guess what? We're almost at year 50. And now they're replacing you too. They don't even need to pander to you anymore. You gave them your vote and now they gave it to someone else along with your food stamps and your welfare. Yeah, you're not the largest minority anymore. Latinos are. And the new batch of voters in training, they're being groomed with all the benefits that you no longer qualify for. You're out here playing checkers in a rigged chess game. But you know what? Hey, let's keep voting blue if it feels good. Just don't say you weren't warned. This is serious. And it's not just about immigration. This is about erasure. It's about replacing citizens with clients. And it ends when we say it ends. But that was just the beginning, y'all. In the next episode, I'll tell you what happened overnight, including the body that was found and the lawsuit from Gavin Newsom and why this just might be headed all the way up to the Supreme Court. So who you with? The ones waving foreign flags in defiance or those demanding order and sovereignty? Time to choose. Drop a comment. Say your stance. And listen, if you want straight talk, no fluff, hit subscribe and follow because we're only just getting started. This is The Right Side Up with Drew Lennox, where we don't burn down the country to prove a point. We're going to rebuild it with truth, one episode at a time. Until next time.